So I was actually going to make a video on this, and I was looking for a background and I came across this article, so I've scrapped the original video I made. Oh, it took 10 minutes. And we're just going to go through and read this out. Now, I do have a bit of a background information on this, so I will be telling you the actual facts. So let's jump straight into the article. Identitarian activists Martin Sellner and Brittany Pettibone detained at Heathrow ahead of planned speech. Is it interesting? The only fact that I could actually find, or the only article I can find about this, is from Breitbart. Not even the UK press is covering this, as far as I'm aware. Like, I expected things like the Daily Mail or something to cover it, but yeah, apparently not even them. Australian hipster right Identitarian leader Martin Sellner was detained and refused entry to Britain on Friday at Heathrow Airport ahead of planned speech at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park in London. Sellner, along with his partner, YouTube political commentator and author Brittany Pettibone, were refused entry into the UK, according to British branch of the Generation Identitarian movement. In a press release, the group said that Sellner and Pettibone arrived at Britain at Luton at 1 PM and were told they were being detained because of a planned speech which authorities claim Sellner represented a far-right group and intends to incite racial hatred. So on that, there were actually 3 reasons that they were given. I do actually have those in front of me. The first is because he was planning at speaking at this event. He wasn't dubbed far-right, like they're saying here. He was dubbed right-leaning. Because even Brittany actually asked them, so what now, you can't be right-leaning? And they said, no, you can, but they still arrested him. So that's actually not accurate. Also, they were also told that they were arrested because she intended to interview, or they intended to interview Tommy Robertson, who is, quote, an extremist. Okay, so say that is accurate. Say that, which I doubt, but just say Tommy Robertson is an extremist. Does that mean that BBC or the Daily Mail or whoever it might be in the UK who goes off overseas and interviews things like Osama bin Laden or the Venezuela dictator or anything along those lines will be refused entry when they come back to the UK? Of course not. So why are you going through and banning some journalists or political commentators on some things and not others? Interesting, isn't it? And the third reason that they were told is because he is the leader of Generation Identity. I will put a link to their stuff below. Please go and follow them. They do some really, really good stuff. So obviously go and check them out and support those guys. Now, at the end of the day, yeah, it's insane. There is actually talk of legal action. There is set to be a legal action against the UK government for detaining them. And according to what I've been sort of reading online, it looks like they were supposed to be released today and that they're actually flying back to Austria. So, yeah, looks like it hasn't really... It stopped him speaking at a free speech rally. Oh, the irony. But anyway, let's jump into it. The pair were then moved to Heathrow Airport at 1 AM, where they were both placed in detention along with other foreign nationals waiting to be deported. Yeah, she was there for 3 days. Legally, let's say, I don't think that's actually allowed, and that's why they're talking about legal action now. Sellner observed that the UK will open its borders to immigration, but blocking dissented opinions that will help to grow the silenced majority that disagrees with the government, calling the affair a disgrace. Originally, the Identitarian leader was scheduled to speak at a conference organised by UKIP Youth Wing Young Independents, but this time was shut down due to alleged far-left extremist threats. Are you arresting those guys? Are you arresting them for shutting down an event and extremist threats? Did you allow any of these far-left extremists to come into the UK? Interesting thought. Get back to me, the UK government. I'd love to know your answer. Sellner's speech, organised for Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park, was set aside for free speech by Act of Parliament in 1872, was on the subject of threats to free speech in the modern world. And the irony is not lost on anybody. Breitbart London spoke to both Sellner and Pettibone, who said they were being held in separate detention centres. Pettibone alleges that the border officers told her one of the reasons for her detention was not only because of Sellner's speech, but also behind plans to interview former English Defence League turned citizen journalist Tommy Robertson, which is what I've already said. Sellner, who described the detention centre as looking akin to a typical American prison, said he was told by authorities that his speak at Hyde Park could cause violence and disrupt community cohesion. So in other words, don't have free speech because you might piss off a few minorities who will go through and actually cause violence. So everybody, tuck between your legs and start making chicken sounds. Basically what they're saying. Sellner also claimed the authorities have not expressed any concern that he was a country to cause violence himself. So why are you detaining him? Anyway, I think this is embarrassing. The government is so afraid of me speaking that you could hold the speaker, but you can't hold the ideas, Sellner said. Breitbart London has also been shown documents purporting to be from the border officer that confirms Sellner's passport has been confiscated and he is detained. Both Sellner and Pettibone are set to return to Austria on Sunday afternoon. Members of the UK Generation Identity group have vowed to protest at Hyde Park. Sellner and Pettibone are not the first right-wing figures to be banned from entering the UK. In 2009, Dutch firebrand Guido Wilders, might be mispronouncing, leader of the country's second largest party and the noticed critic of Islam, was banned from entering, and several others like US Islam critic Pamela Gillick and radio show host Michael Savage have also been banned from entering. But the interesting thing, like I said before, is that they allow far left, but they won't allow far right. Interesting how that seems to line up politically, doesn't it? But anyway, like I say, obviously at the end of the day, guys, what's the takeaway from all this? So basically, Brittany Pettibone and Sellner have been arrested for thought crimes. Yeah. Apparently, you're not allowed to interview anybody that they dub an extremist. So look out BBC and all the mainstream media because you'll probably be arrested soon. You're not allowed to go through and host or be invited to speak at a free speech rally because you might culturally offend someone and ruin the social cohesion of a country. Yeah, so don't say anything offensive because you might pay off some race or religion. So tuck your genitals between your legs and make chicken sounds and learn to lay eggs, basically. And yeah, at the end of the day, you're not allowed to be a member of a right-wing party. So everybody it's right-wing is probably going to get arrested. Look, at the end of the day, this is insane. It really, really is insane. Because at the end of the day, okay, so not only are they making this guy more popular by arresting him and shutting down freedom of speech, they're also getting people offside. Now, at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have covered Martin or Brittany going to this free speech. I might have, but it wouldn't have got the press coverage that this is starting to actually get. And it's all because they've been arrested. And at the end of the day, this is literally... Martin has literally been talking about the dangers of a certain race or religion. And on the day that this story actually comes out about him being arrested, we also have this. A public inquiry into Telford's scandal that emerges up to 1,000 children, were as young as 11, were drugged, beaten, and something or other over the past 40 years. Can we guess which religion these guys might be a part of? Now, remember, grooming gangs don't exist, right? And I'm sure that, you know, Martin going through and raising awareness on these certain topics is why they're actually arresting him. They don't like the fact that he's in the UK. They don't like the fact that he's part of Generation Identity, who do very much raise awareness of the dangers of these particular groups or religion. And that's why I think they arrested him. To sort of scare him a little bit. But No, Martin, it probably won't work. But guys, look, at the end of the day, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Does this make you side with Generation Identity more? Are you scared about the way that the UK is literally going at the moment? It is turning into an authoritarian state. It's like they're trying to compete with Germany over who can be the most authoritarian in history. But guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.